Skyline Theater was built in 1918. It was originally a playhouse. The old original stage is still here. When it was converted to a movie theater, I don't know how many years ago that was, but it's always been a movie theater. I remember living here when I was a little girl, coming down here and going to dollar nights every Tuesday night. And I remember like even watching The Fox and the Hound and sitting on the side because it was so packed and it was always a thing to do. And some little kid dropped its popcorn and it rolled all the way down and he cried like through the whole movie, and I remember that just disturbed me, and that's why I remember that movie. My sister and I used to come down and watch movies at the balcony. It was $1 a piece on Tuesday nights during the summer, just the summer. You had to buy a pass, and it was like our thing to do every Tuesday night. I talked to people that came to this show, you know, the theater back in the 30s and 40s, and when we purchased the movie theater, it had been, you know, remodeled, and we still found old boxes of the old original uniforms of the ushers, and we have those still, and old posters, and of course the old equipment. And I'm sure this isn't the first one. I'm sure this is a modern one compared to what we had. But I remember hearing about movies being filmed here, and then they would show them down here, and they would make a big spectacle of it with lights, you know, and a big premiere and red carpet. And even we have a poster on our wall over there of Cat Ballou. Well, that was filmed up at Buckskin Joe's, which unfortunately is no longer here either. And my mom and I happened to be in an antique store, you know, about a year ago. We found, well, it was a little over a year ago, found an old poster, and we framed it and put it on the wall down here, knowing that these celebrities were here in town, and the premieres were here, and it was a lot of fun. This Canon City was a mecca for filming back in the day. And there were several movie theaters right down on Main Street. And I think saving this one, you know, is a definite must. We have to save this theater. We will absolutely save this theater. Well, the reason Skyline Theater is in trouble is because of the digitizing in the industry. Every movie theater in America is going to have to digitize by this year, 2013. Yes, we did know about it, and yes, it would have been nice to save $60,000, $70,000 extra dollars to just digitize it. However, with the economy and struggling business on Main Street, that just didn't happen. It's unfortunate. Like, we are not the only person in this boat. You know, there's so many movie theaters in America. Every small town in America usually has a movie theater, and I'm sure they're all going through this exact same, you know, pain of facing, do we keep it open? Do we seek financing? Can we stay open? Is it going to pay off to digitize? Because in this industry, you know, we haven't made a lot of money, and it's been very hard to keep the doors open as it is. We are always at the mercy of the industry, and if a good movie doesn't come out, you know, no one's going to want to pay $7 to sit in a seat. They're going to wait for it to come to Redbox. Our other theater, Creekside Cinema, is a 4-screen theater, and saving it, we don't even know if it's on the table or not. We had only owned the business for 17 days. It was in a different location when it burned to the ground, and of course, not really knowing what we were getting into, we decided to build a bigger and better theater after the current landlord terminated our lease. So we built Creekside Cinema and opened our doors right at the time the economy kind of fell apart, and we have struggled ever since. So our main goal now is to save Skyline and to see, you know, what can happen with Creekside Cinema. And the reason we're going to go on Kickstarter is because my dad found a website, and he actually saw 2 small theaters be funded through Kickstarter, and he thought, that's a great idea. You know, we didn't want to go out to public and beg for money, and, you know, we thought we'll just lick our own wounds and figure out what to do. So when he saw this Kickstarter, it's a really great program. You get to go on there and you ask for funding, and people pledge you a certain amount of money, and in return you give them movie passes or popcorn combos or you know, whatever, or you just give them a big thank you. And so how it is, it's funded. Well, you get a 30-day or a 60-day plan, and if you don't reach your funding in that time, then all of the money goes back to the people and you don't get any of it. If you reach your funding in that amount of time, then the money gets processed through people's credit cards and you get the funding. So we're going to go for it, and we're going to try it, and we ask that everybody look at our website to keep, you know, an eye out for when we have our Kickstarter video up and running and our slot time for funding, and hopefully, you know, if they really want to keep this theater, they'll get in there and fund some money. You know, we're hoping for the best.